What's up, guys? Jeremy Clark here, coming to you from the Premium Tier Futures Discord channel. And I'm here with Eli, one of our admins, and we're going to be going over some trades on the Jigsaw Dom. Welcome, Eli. Thanks for joining us. Anything you want to add there?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. It was a really tough week in the market this past week. A lot of volatility. I didn't save any clips from this past week, um, and so I have a clip here. It's older. This is from July 8th. That's about a month old, and this is just a clip looking at how you can use the tape. I have a large lot tape. Um, yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Very cool. Yeah, it was. I got kind of caught up with trading too, and I didn't take too many screenshots or videos this week, and I wish I had done more. Um, but yeah, we'll jump right in. Let's see what you got here.
All right, so this is a little bit longer. It's really slow at first, and so I'll probably skip ahead a little bit. But the idea this day was a really slow one. So you can see from the range, we've only got about 10 points of range, and we're already an hour in since market open.
Oh
Uh,
wow. So we're
and
looking at
so,
this purple area of the volume profile with the orange. Is that the VPOC or the VWAP right there?
yeah, VWAP and the POC,
Oh, so
they kind of
that's right.
stack
They were
there.
stacked on that. So yeah, so that's that range that we're looking at right there. I think you said it was about
Yeah,
10
that's
points or
the
so.
yeah the value areas there in the purple, and then the full range is where the yellow bars are on either
Gotcha.
side.
So that's the high and the
And
low is the yellow bars.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's the I think those yellow bars are the that 1 hour opening range.
The
So
initial
we're just
balance.
hitting
Okay.
that point. Uh, yeah, so this it was really slow. I was messing around in sim at the time, so you can kind of just ignore that short there. Uh,
Gotcha.
but you can see the 100 lot. This mouse pointer is recorded into the video. I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. But
Yeah.
the second tape from the right is the large lot tape that I was talking about. It's got 100 orders in it, right next to the order entry window.
Um, sorry, I'm blanking.
To the
You're
right
talking
above the chart.
to the right
The
above the chart. You're talking about the tape.
the one right next to it, to the left of it. Yeah, that one there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. So this one's set up to show 100 lots or greater. So I
Oh,
was
that's
noticing, you can see price just kind of sits here in the same spot for quite a while, few minutes. But watching that tape, you can see more and more of these more than 100 lot sell orders are coming in slowly, nice and slow. They're keeping at the same price.
so it's right about 633.75 is where they want to sell.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
interesting.
so you can see there's been 400 lots in it. It's in the last 3 minutes. This tape set up to disappear after 3 minutes.
Okay.
So there's another one just came through 102.
Yeah,
So although price is
375
just
again.
sitting, yeah, although price is just sitting here, something's going on. Somebody is very slowly selling these
Yeah.
large lot orders, or multiple people. There's
Oh, a
another
bunch
almost
of them just
500.
printed now. 3350. Yeah.
Price is still just sitting there. So they're doing this very cautiously, very controlled.
Very
There
methodical.
goes another one.
So now they're hitting 3350. Look at that. This is brilliant.
And it's starting to look a little bit weaker now.
Yeah, I can see the regular tape speed just picked up a little bit. you can see those 369 buyers just went through on the offer side, the blue part of the market orders, and didn't push through. So even though the sell orders look smaller in the bid side, the buyers are getting absorbed right here. They're not able to push
Mhm.
through. And we're definitely printing more now. It's at 33.
There goes another 200.
So now it's pushed back to that center point, that orange line, and there it drops off.
It cracks. And so you can see the orange on the tape. That's anything below ask, so or below bid. So those are either very aggressive sellers or a stop out, which most likely is a stop out way that it dropped.
Like a profit stop.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For,
And that's right at the value area low.
so they're still hitting it and getting more and more. Now it's getting going.
Yeah, we got a nice little liquidity vacuum right there. A couple more ticks there. It just filled. Look at that drop. Beautiful.
And all the orange on the tape. So somebody big stopped out there. That
Well,
was that big crack. So
yeah, so looking, we've got these heavy white bracketed um, arbitrage orders happening, and right there on that drop, they got hit. So either that's their profit take and they manufactured that, or they actually got hit and taken out. And you can see they moved, it caused the bracket on top to drop several, like 4 or 5 ticks down. And then it looks like maybe they're trying to create a new one below that. But yeah, I would almost think that they manufactured that drop, those steady drip, drip, drip of 100 lot orders. And then they purposely had these orders down here in place to take profit on that.
yeah, it could be.
That's one of the first times that we've captured the bracket order getting hit to one side or the other. You know what
It's
I mean?
still hard to
Usually,
tell. It's still hard to tell to me because there's those orders down just below the bottom of that spike.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There's
totally.
a
But if you look at your 100 lot order tape on the upper right here, there at 627.75, there was 1,008 lots went through, and that had to be part of that bracket order. I know they moved it lower, but it had to be some of it got hit.
yeah, maybe.
Could you wind it back just a little bit right before the drop?
Sure.
So the big 1,000 lots that went through was at 627. I think I said 627.75. So right above, right in here. So almost right where that red line is, just below that, there is this like block of liquidity right here, this gray shaded stuff. So that could be a large order that was sitting there waiting to get hit. It looks like it's missing in this screenshot right here, as if it was pulled. Um, then there's a little bit of less shaded below it, and then there's more chunkiness right here at like 627. All right, go ahead and play it. Let's watch that again. Okay, I saw it. So right as it dropped, there was a block of liquidity that came in. That was that 1,000 lot order. It's a little tough to say, but it looked like it was part of this bracket order. But it also looked like it sort of moved up on its own to capture that drop to take profit.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Can you run it back one more time? Just in that little zone? So watch right here at 628, 627.75. That where this red bar is, there's that little block of liquidity, and then like right in there, you'll see this white block come through.
Try to pause it a little bit.
Yeah, I think we missed it.
So you're looking at the 627.75.
Yeah, right. Let's see if I can put my mouse on it. So like right around here. Right there. Did you see it? You had it paused on it for a second.
Missed it. Past this?
Maybe just like right
Oh,
there, right there, right there. Can you pause it? Perfect. So look at that. Look at that white block of liquidity that just showed up right there. That's your 1,000 lot order. It's right at 627.75 to 627.50. That got hit, and it came out of nowhere. It wasn't there. It looks to me like it could have been part of this bracket order that like actually intentionally moved up. Like it was moving out of the way, and then they just took profit right there.
yeah, could be.
All right, cool. So let it play out again. Let's just see. So did that stop the action? That was that it, or did it continue after that?
My clip ends. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's about it.
Yeah, that might have been the move. Yeah, and you can see them pulling. There's a lot of pulling where you get the dark shaded area. It just gets empty, and it looks like buyers came in at 56.27. There's some more liquidity vacuums happening down here, but there's a lot of volume dots, so there's a lot of volume happening in this area that might be stopping it. Let's see if 25.75 could possibly get filled, but it looks like with all this volume, that's kind of where it's going to stop.
Mm. Yeah, that's the end of the clip there.
I'm noticing too that on the bottom right of the chart, you've got this, is that a EMA? Maybe this red line that
That's
um,
the VWAP for the full session.
the VWAP for the full session. So that's a mean reversion. That's a beautiful, mountain pass mean reversion. Very cool. We were talking about this last week with these automated orders that move with price. Um, just trying to, for me lately, it's been about just accepting that they're there and that price is going to be in the middle of them and then kind of working the spread in between, 4 or 5 ticks. Um, because I feel like it's really hard to predict when, you know, because they follow price, right? So it's hard to just say, oh, it's dropping, I'm going to sell. You don't want to do that because it could pop right back up.
Mm.
But I find them visually to be very distracting, you know?
Yeah, it's irritating,
Yeah,
especially on the down when you're watching some large lot that's above or below the market, and then those kind of come in and obscure it
they
when
obscure it.
you there. Yeah,
Yeah, they sit right on top of it.
yeah,
So that makes it tricky. Yeah.
yeah. So that was the clip that I had. The only one I've got this week.
Very cool. Um, I'm just looking back at the tape to see if there's anything else that I missed. You do have over 100 lot buyers stepping in at 56.27. Once the move happened, I don't see any large prints below 27. So
Yeah,
maybe there was some on the regular tape. I don't really see them there either. There's a 20, maybe a 26.75 10 lot order went through. Yeah, there's a couple at 26.75s, smaller ones. But it seemed like the big guys were putting the stop on there, and you see all of this. Um, I think this is the delta price that you have on the right side.
Mm,
All these
yeah,
sellers, you've got that 1431 and that 965, so that's almost 2,500 sellers right again at that 27.75 level. And then it dropped down a little more, and you got more, another 716 right there,
yeah. At
56.27,
least
and then it doesn't really move past 26.50. Do you remember? Did it recover after that, or did it stall out? Or I mean,
I'm
you're
not
looking.
sure here.
Yeah, it
Let
was a
me.
while back.
I have the full clip. We can pull it up.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Let's see exactly what it does. So it was a month ago. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So kind of held there, right at 27.
So it didn't really move much past that.
There it goes. So it kind of broke again. Took a while. Yeah.
Let's see. Are you sharing that as well? Or are you looking at it right now?
Oh yeah. Sorry, trying to share it. It was on the same screen. I'm not very good at this. Let's see. I'm not sure. It's up. I'll try to stop streaming and then start it again.
Yeah, that should be up.
Okay. Okay, so here's the drop. And you can see it kind of holds that 27 for a little while.
It goes sideways. So all those latecomers that are trying to catch the drop are getting chopped up right there.
Comes back and tests that range, the lows of the original range, and then drops from there. Breaks through 27. So it breaks pretty hard too. And then continues lower.
Then it starts to kind of maybe trend lower after that.
Yeah, yeah, pretty slow.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Again, you can see these very clear bracket orders, and I've stared at them for hours trying to figure out, well, is there some way to predict what they're trying to do based on the thick levels of liquidity? Like, is one smaller and one larger, one thicker, one thinner? Um, but it all just happens so fast, you know, that I end up, if I was trying to play this, I would be basically trying to play the spread in the middle for a few ticks, and if it dropped, I might aim for like 56.24. You can see some natural liquidity sitting there, but these white blocks would be a little bit unsure what to do with.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I don't know. The only thing I've noticed for sure is that they widen when the market's really volatile and they're a lot
Yeah,
tighter when it's slow like this. So I mean,
yeah,
it's got to be their whoever's running them. It's got to be their interpretation of what they expect for volatility.
yeah, totally. Um,
So maybe we could use that. So don't know though. Yeah.
I'm thinking too, if we take it as the idea of it being an arbitrage, it would be interesting to look up, um, maybe in Bookmap I could do this and look at, say, SPY, um, and see if the arbitrage orders are also in SPY, and just see if there's like visually a difference. We were talking about if these are arbitrage orders, it would make more sense if you just had one strip of liquidity on the bottom or one on the top, right? If they were trying to force price in a certain direction.
Yeah, and then
Um,
have the opposite strip like on Spy or something, where
yeah,
they're being pushed back in line.
right, right. That would be intuitive and easy to understand. Um, I think what they're doing is they're kind of containing price in this narrow range so that they can take these little bites out of it, and maybe every so often either they manufacture that drop or it just naturally drops and they have to, kind of stop it at a level or something. Um, I think there's a reason, for them having what looks like supply and demand levels. I think they're containing price in there, and I think it allows them to really work the spread kind of safely without it getting away from them too much. That's
Yeah,
just
it
my
could
thought
be.
on it.
I still think they're market neutral, really, like the market makers and stuff. I don't know. Uh, that's my
Oh no,
personal view.
I mean you're absolutely right. If you think about it in terms of their hedging, you know, that's a market neutral strategy, and they could be selling some ES here and buying some SPY or buying some SPX options to sort of balance the market out that way. There's, little discrepancies there that they can make a few cents here and there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Well, good stuff, man. I could stare at this DOM forever. So many little details. Um,
I like it. I really do. I can't imagine switching back to just candlestick charts.
yeah, I've been trying more and more lately to avoid them. Um, Although I have been using them somewhat. Um, I'm just going to pull up, see if I can pull this up. I'm going to drop that in there. Let me know if this comes through on your end, if you can see that okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. That's easy. See if I can pull up the pin. Where to go? There it is. So, um, as a way to find value on the DOM, I've been using these little 16-minute volume profiles, and it's kind of a crutch for me because I'm learning how to spot value better and trying to figure out where the smaller moves are happening. And this is just an example of 3 trades I did on Friday that were very successful. Um, I was watching this VPOC here around 53.81, and I knew we had this previous one here, which was like around 53.7150 or something like that. So when price dropped, um, I got short, and my target was going to be that 53.7150. I'll just put a line there just so we can see how it like lines up. Let's try this. So like if I extend this, oh, that's not a good color at all.
Do you know what time was this?
Um, I have it on the chart,
Uh,
but So for example, that would have been my first take profit right there. And you can see it dropped right back down to the previous VPOC and then it bounced up. And
Yeah.
I'll just pull up the time real quick so you can see it.
Oh, and this is where you're using the, you said 6 minute
The
volume profile.
16,
16.
using the 16 just to be different. No reason other than I've used it in the past successfully, and some days I'll use 13 minutes if price is moving a little quicker, and it's just to be something different than your standard like 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute approach. Um,
Sure. Yeah. I like
sometimes they're
that.
the same. Sometimes you pull up a 15 minute and a 5 minute and it has the same VPOC and sometimes it doesn't. But this gives me a good general idea of where price kind of clustered for a bit. So this
Okay.
was right around 10, let's say right around 10:30, 10:45 Pacific. And then so for the next one, we had this there was a good VPOC right here that I had measured. There was a previous move, over here somewhere where this VPOC had come into play. And so when we lost this one, that's where I got short and was aiming for this level, which was like 53.70 or something like that. And I wasn't expecting to get more than three legs out of it. And I was really dicey on this last one. It actually went against me. I tried to get short right in here and it pulled it back against me, but it was just so obviously like a sweep that I stayed in.
Mhm.
And fortunately it worked out. And so the next target was um, VWAP, I'm sorry, value area high, which is this yellow line right here, right around 53.60, which was a key level all week. Um, this red block was sort of there was a gap. It gapped down from 53.60 to 53, maybe 50 or 45. And then price had come back up into this red zone a few times and not gone through it. And then finally it had gone through it, but of course it had to come back and test it. And so once we hit value area high, um, in my experience, price doesn't usually just whip through it. It often will just go sideways and chop around on it. So at this point, I kind of stopped trading, but
Okay.
it seemed like, a pretty obvious target, even from up here. Once we got like, this probably would have matched a mean reversion to some degree. I think VWAP was just down here. So this was also lining up with one of the VWAP bands. I think the first upper. So your VWAP would have been down here. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
cool.
so just using these little VPOCs as value, or to see where previous value was, um, they tend to work pretty good as targets.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
then
like that.
yeah, thank you. That kind of brings me to like the next the video I was going to show you here. So I'll drop that in. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
All right, so cool. So for this, oops, I don't know where that came from. So I'm going to be looking at this this DOM over here on the right. This is the one tick. This is the two tick. Um, and it's a little bit blocked from the menu orders, but so this is I think a different, obviously like different levels, different time. This may have been from, I don't remember which day this was from even. This was actually like a couple months ago, I think. Regardless, in the past, what I'd be doing is like, let's say I thought that, where'd we go? Let's say I thought that price was going to move higher. So I'd be looking for like a lot of buyers stacked on the DOM, and I'd be looking at for the offer to be kind of thin, and
Okay.
not really seeing that here. It looks pretty balanced, and so I don't know where that keeps coming from. So, you know, with the Norton method, it's really more about spotting value. Right now you might say value looks like it was 56.26 and selling back to it, or if it drops below it, selling back up to it, and just capturing like 2 to 5 ticks, you know. And so one of the things that I'm getting better at, and that was it just happened right there. Let's see if I can pull this back. There we go. So right in here, I'm thinking 56.26 is value. There's a little low volume node right there, and then it got pushed higher. See if I can pull that back a little bit more. So just under it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pause it right there. So looking at this again, I'm thinking 56.26 is value. Price is headed back up to it. I'd be looking for like, you've got a 90 lot here, which is okay. It's pretty strong. There's 137 sellers right there. So that's probably not a good entry. What I'd like to see is just a little bit fewer, like 50 to 60 sellers. And then if there was another 90 lot above that, I could take a couple ticks off that real easy. So I'm
Yeah.
going to watch this 137 and see if that pulls. And that's what
And
I'd be looking.
how are you determining value?
Value. So a lot of times it clusters around a double zero, like 56.26, or it'll move up and, by a tick, um, and move down. So I'm looking for where the most orders have gone through. So
Okay.
you can see right here, we've got VWAP, which is this lighter blue, which is obviously going to be a high volume area. You had 11,500 trades happen. So 56.25.50 was definitely value. And it looks like 25.25 was value, and then it moved up from there.
Hmm.
Whereas 56.25 looks like it got passed through. So if value is constantly moving, prices constantly searching for value, it'll come back to areas and drop a lot of volume in those areas. And so that's kind of what happened here at VWAP.
Sure.
And then you can see the next heaviest area was like 2650. Right here, you had those 10,366 lots went through there.
Yeah.
Um, so that might be if price was to move higher, I would expect 2650 to get hit, and I might play just 26 to 2625, and throw like 2 to 4 lots at it, depending on the speed of the market. But so
Okay.
if I was gonna get long here, you know, I'd actually want to set like a limit order below so that when price sweeps down, hopefully I'd get filled. So let's say I'm not going to set my limit order higher than 2550 in this moment, and I'm going to be looking for 137, this 137 lot to pull. So let's just see what
Okay.
happens. I don't know if that's what happened here or not, but that's kind of what I'd be looking for. Yeah, and it just pulled. You see that?
Yeah.
So now you've got
Yeah.
100 lots going against 30, which puts 26 as the next target. There's sellers willing to sell right there, and these little smaller lot orders are trapped, and they're getting filled. So it could have very easily taken a tick right there, and pretty safely because there's like a lot of support underneath. Price isn't going to be able to just whip back through that 100 lot.
Hmm.
And there's 25.75. So watching this 90 lot to see if that starts to pull. And we're looking for adding right here at 25.50. So they're fighting back right there. 100 lot sellers. Seems like they're having trouble keeping it up. And then I'm looking at, the market order columns. You got 67 versus 26. 67 versus 30. So now you got 16 going against 37. So there it goes. It went. And I didn't even see that little I'm gonna just back it up a little bit right before it goes again. So watching this area right in here. Again, the target was 26. Um, for safety, I might have gotten out at 25.75. Oops. Definitely seeing all buyers on the, oh, I think my market depth was only set to the bid right there. But yeah, that filled, so they kind of pulled out of the way and that filled. And then you got a big 200 lot plus print.
Yeah.
Um, well, that must be from the video where that stuff keeps popping in. So same thing, you got this 297 lot printed right there on the the bid side. These were sellers. I'm sorry, these were buyers. I have it flipped. Um, 297 buyers hit the offer right here, and then price is continuing up past that. So now I would say 26 is value because that's where the most um, occurred and value is moving higher. And so we'd probably be aiming for this little low volume node right here at 56.27. Um, if I had entered there.
That's really cool. And this market's so much better than past couple weeks, the past week anyway.
Yeah, this one was a little slower, right? A little more predictable.
Yeah,
Um,
looks so much
I want to show you this
yeah,
too.
nicer to watch.
Yeah. So we just kind of tested into 56.27 and it's probably going to test again. Look at that low volume node that just opened up right there. Price went through there so fast, it's probably going to fill again. You've got 100 lots going against, 40. You got, and there it went. It just filled. So that would have been an easy tick right there. Um, and then looking at these low volume nodes on the volume profile, a lot of times price won't push past that. If value was kind of set down here at like 25.75, it'll go up to this like low volume node right here at 27, and then potentially it might back off. Like I would be careful to enter there. Um, or if it looked like it was going to turn around, that would be a good short and go back a couple ticks to, 56.26 again. It looks like it's still moving higher. Could we break 27.25? And it just tested into it. But it looks like we're getting more sellers.
You got more high
Now we
volume
got
up there.
buyers. Yeah, we got more buyers coming in.
You ticks above.
Yeah. And then so like once it gets above that, if it does get above it and it starts to look like we've got buyers coming in, then the next target might be 28.25 right here at VPOC, this blue shaded area. And I'm always watching these like you've got 370 printed buyers, 400 buyers against 272 sellers. Did price move past that? Well, price hit the target, right? Which was VPOC. Um, again, I'd be cautious to keep holding past that because, we had that big print. I want to see what's going to happen now. It looks like the sellers are fighting back again. Those 100 lots just got eaten up twice. You've got a low volume node at 28, so that's going to act as temporary resistance at least. I'm looking at this big 481 print that happened at 56.27. So 56.27 was probably the most recent value. You've got a 213 lot sitting right there, people ready to buy. So has value moved higher here or is it moving back down to 27? We're tapping into 28. So it's definitely testing like 27.75, which was VPOC. So I'd say at least for those few seconds, maybe 30 seconds, that's been value. You got this big 213 lot right here, still sitting at 27. So somebody's wanting to buy that. and they just got sold down onto. And again, we went right back down to, is it going to go all the way to 26 or I think 56.27 is like value.
Yeah, moved a bit higher or something.
Yeah, it moved above it and it got sold back right back down to it.
Uh,
And there was a little bit of slippage where it went back to 26.75. That happens a lot, and you can target that. If you look at this, the delta um, price right here, it's been all to sellers in that range. So for price to push past that, you'd have to really see volume at 27.75, which you didn't see a lot. I'd like to see 300, 400 more. So now it's just hugging 27, and they're working the spread back and forth, right? You see that it dropped to 26.50 and went right back up to 27. Those two
yeah,
ticks. Yeah. So they're just working that zone right now.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So again, we got this low volume node at 26, which could either act as a target or as you know, um, as support. So that was a pretty good target on the down move, and that was previous value. So we just kind of moved off from 27 down to 26. And that was kind of what I was describing to you last night, how price can move around between 27 to 28, and then 27 moves back into value, and then it all of a sudden becomes 27 to 26 is the move, which is 4 ticks to either side. Um,
Yeah,
so, just getting better at spotting those little areas of I don't want to call it congestion, but consolidation, and just sort of recognizing that that's the same thing as that VPOC I was showing you on the candlestick chart.
oh, sure. Okay. Yeah,
It looks like I'm trailing off into market profile here. So, but yeah, I'll go ahead and stop that at that point.
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I love the DOM. You can just see so much more than you can with just candlesticks. Feel like you can really see why price is moving rather than just kind of see what it has been doing. You can kind of see how it's getting there too.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I've been using this, side by side with a 2 tick chart. So I've got a 1 tick chart on the right, 2 tick on the left, and then up top, I'll usually run a 4 tick DOM as well. And with that one, it's tough to see all the slippage of the individual ticks because you're just looking at individual points. But it really does show you, like, if it goes from 27 to 28 and gets stopped, you see that on the 4 tick DOM real easy. And then you see it reverse back to 27. You see 27 drop down to 26. So it gives me a little bit of insight if there's volume coming in, big volume that's maybe spread across 2 or 3 ticks instead of just like on 1 tick, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you're using the different compressions to see like if there's an area where there's a bunch of volume coming in.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm just like looking through to see if there's anything else that I wanted to throw in there. Um, I know I had a video from a couple weeks ago. I think I had mentioned where I did a bad trade and I wanted to like go over it, but I don't see where that's hiding out. So subconsciously, I'm hiding it from myself.
That's funny. No, hopefully next week, man. I really hope we'll get some better markets and maybe we can record some new stuff.
Yeah, yeah, same here. Yeah, I think that's probably a good spot to stop. We've gone about 45 minutes, I think, something like that.
Uh, yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
cool. All right, well, thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, give us a like and feel free to subscribe. There's a link to our Discord on YouTube, or you can always hit us up in the comments. And it's free. We just post our thoughts and share our ideas. Everyone's welcome to join. Um, Eli, you want to take us out? You still there? Okay, I think we stopped. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you again next week.